Good evening. Welcome to another Tuesday night Unwind with Yoga. And this one is specifically going to be a Strala Yoga oriented class, just to kind of talk about some principles and the reason that I love Strala Yoga so much and how it can apply so meaningfully to our lives and our patterns of kind of living life. And someone asked me the question just earlier today about aging well and why we don't hear about that more, or why our parents' generation didn't talk about it more as they were aging. So just as a general equipping for life, I think Strala Yoga helps us with that practice of not only aging well in our older years, but aging well at any time of life. And, yoga can often be portrayed as a physical practice to get you in shape in fitness arenas, but ideally it's something much deeper and much broader than that can apply to every area of your life and help you to kind of learn how to navigate life and challenges and change in the most graceful and successful way possible. And so really it becomes a wisdom practice where you learn about yourself, you learn about not just your physical body, but also your mind and your patterns, why you do the things you do, and then how you can navigate towards more healthy ways of moving and thinking and being, so that all carries itself forward with you as you age, regardless of what age you are at the time. Okay, so today what I'd like to do is take the physical practice of some really easy yoga movements, and you don't even have to call them yoga movements. So we're gonna walk through something that anyone can do, standing the whole time. And I wanna kind of demonstrate a flow and a way of moving that is really healthy and helpful to all of us. It's similar to the way that we moved as children. We were natural, we were coordinated, we weren't dealing with any tension or tightness or injuries, but it's something that flows and breathes as you go. And you can think of a nice round circular movement, almost like our breathing pattern, that without our thinking, it naturally breathes in and out and takes care of us. So I want to move into some physical patterns that are similar to that, where you go into a flow that is natural and back and forth. So we're going to look at patterns that are specifically in an up and then a down direction, and then in a left and a right direction. And as we repeat those simple patterns, I want us to really relax into that flow and that direction with our breath, and just notice the change that occurs in our bodies and enjoy that natural being in that flow. Okay? So we are going to be standing the whole time, no need for yoga mats. And you can be barefoot or in your shoes. I'm a fan of barefoot feet because you can move and feel the floor much better in bare feet. So if you're comfortable with that and you have a safe surface to work on, great for bare feet. So we're going to start with a simple movement of shifting your weight side to side. So we're starting with that side, left and right flow, and we're going to use this as kind of our home base spot. So in between some of our very simple yoga movements, body movements, you'll see us come back to this weight shift. Super simple and a really easy place to reconnect with, all right, how's my body doing? How am I feeling? How can I just relax and settle in here a little bit more? So if you're able to stand, you're able to weight shift. Everyone can do this. And as we're here, let's go ahead and use the breath to help us relax. Feel this natural side-to-side movement. And notice if we're really just letting that movement flow easily, or if we're trying to control it. So if we're trying to force it or control it, it won't feel as good. It won't be as good for our joints and our tissues. We'll have to work harder to make it happen. But the more you can rest into that natural back and forth movement, the better your body will be. Nice, easy breaths as you go. And if you want to connect the breath so that you're breathing into one side and then breathing out to the other side. Breathing in and breathing out. You don't have to keep your body going strictly left and right here. If you get a little bit of rotation at your belly or your shoulders naturally, just notice that in your body and keep it natural. Let things go where they just want to go all by themselves. And breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Few more left and right, just easy path here first. Good. Coming into center so that both feet are equally holding up the body. So your weight is right in the middle of both feet. Now we're going to work on that up and down flow. Starting with the breath, and the rest of the body simply responds to that breath. So as you breathe in, any amount of a lift and an open. And as you breathe out, a little softening and a sinking down. This can happen at the knees and the ankles and the hips. Anything that feels natural, anything that feels comfortable. And breathe in, lift up. And breathe out, lower down. 2 more times. Breathe in. And out. And 1 more time. Breathe in. And out. Good. Now we're going to add back in that left and right flow. So as we breathe in and float up, then we're going to ease our way over to one side. Just let the fingertips drop towards the floor, shoulder and head. Breathe in, come center. And breathe out, float over to the other side. And breathe in, up. And breathe out, just soften over to the side. And breathe in, center. And breathe out any amount. You don't have to bend as far as I'm going. You'll feel your own body and see what's comfortable and right. 1 more time each side. Soften your way over. And breathe in. And breathe out. Good. I'm going to turn a little bit diagonally so you can see me here. Now we're going to have a little bit of a roll forward. So we're going to stay planted evenly on the feet, or a little bit of shifting side to side. So just the same way when we were weight shifting, our bodies were responding by maybe a little bit of a turning from the belly and from the shoulders. The same thing is allowed to happen in any of these movements. So if that little bit of weight shift side to side wants to come back in, then let it happen. Listen to how your body wants to move through space and allow that to happen, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a deep breath in and float everything up. And then we're going to easily drop the chin towards the chest, round the shoulders, and kind of make our way forward, nice and soft. Let the head hang, relax the back of the neck. And then a nice big bend in the knees to protect and roll gently right back up where we came from. And I am shifting just easy from side to side because it feels better as I'm rolling forward and coming back up. So don't feel like you've got to stay perfectly straight and then make yourself go straight down and straight back up. Because honestly, if you saw what I just did, that doesn't look very natural and coordinated. So if you've got a little bit of sway side to side, and then you just gently start to fold and roll forward, well, you've got that side to side sway, just making that descent more comfortable. Same thing coming back up. As you're rolling up through your back, let that left and right flow join in and make it more rounded and soft all together. Then you've got something that's really enjoyable instead of trying to stay nice and square as you bend forward and then come back up. Okay, so remember, our bodies are not robots. We've got all of these joints and all of these tissues that when they work together well, it's something that's really graceful and coordinated. All right, so we're going to repeat this pattern of gently rolling forward and hanging forward, and then making our way back up nice and slowly. And we're just going to go back and forth in that movement, each time listening to your body and creating more of a comfortable way for your own body to make that happen. So let's start in center and take a deep breath in, let everything float up. And then gently start to roll and round forward. Nice big exhale as you come. And I've got a big bend in my knees here, so my back is comfortable. I'm not forcing anything. And then reversing, starting to gently roll up. Arms are just hanging loose, head's hanging loose. And then eventually the last thing to come up are the shoulders, and finally the head at the end. Take a little pause, and then we go again. Breathe in and lift and open. And then start to make your way slowly forward. Let your head hang as soon as you can. Arms hang and drop. Nice and easy. And then start that rolling up process. Any little shift side to side, making it more natural and more comfortable. The last thing to roll up, shoulders, neck, and head easily come back into place. We're going to do this a couple more times. So keep going, keep listening to your body. Take a deep breath in, lift up. And on the exhale, just relax forward. And drop. And reversing that gently, starting that roll up through the back. Arms are just hanging loose. Rolling through the middle back and up through the neck, and the head is the last thing to come up. Good, let's go one more time. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, start to melt forward. Nice hang, bend in the knees, any little rock side to side that helps you or feels good. And then gently rolling up through the back. Softening the hips and the knees the whole way. Nothing ever has to get locked into place or stiffened or tightened. The whole body stays open and movable throughout. Nice? Okay, so far all we've done are these super simple movements of weight shifting side to side, of using our breath as we lift up and as we relax down. That can be staying with your chest up high and just breathing up and down, or it can be that forward fold where you're lifting up and just dropping your body forward and rolling back up, okay? So those movements you can do anytime without any equipment, no matter where you are. Even in the grocery store, they're not gonna arrest you for doing a forward fold in the aisle. It's legal. Might be a good way to notice what's on the bottom shelf, okay? All right, so let's just do a couple more easy movements facing one another, a little bit more in the shoulders and the arms if you're comfortable with it. So careful, if any of the forward fold or any of the shoulder work that we're about to go into, if anything feels like, oh, that really hurts, don't start the mantra of, I'm just gonna push through the pain, because it never works. You'll always make that problem worse by trying to push or force through it, okay? Those red flags of pain and discomfort are meant to be noticed and stepped back from. So step back to something that's gentler, relax that area where you felt your pain, get it really loose and breathe, and allow your body to go into that system of healing and repair in a comfortable place while you're still practicing this beautiful pattern of gracefulness and coordination, all right, of harmony with your whole body. And then try again with a little bit of movement and see how things feel, keeping it really small, okay? All right, so let's go into a little bit of a shoulder roll and then a little bit of an arm opening with that shoulder movement. Using the breath again, take a deep breath in, shrug the shoulders a little bit up. And exhale, relax the shoulders down. And again, breathe in. Maybe roll them back a little bit this time and exhale, release. And we can go in a full circle a little bit, shoulders front and a little up and a little bit back. Exhale, release. Let's go one more time, shoulders forward, up, back, and release. Nice. So now let's get a little bit of arm movement. We're going to cross the arms over the front of the body. The shoulders are naturally coming up a little bit as I open out to the side, and then everything relaxes back down and drops. And we go again, cross and float everything up. Big breath opening, exhale, relax, and soften down. Couple more times. Breathe in, float everything up. Nice big opening. And exhale, relax down. One more time. Remember, the breath starts the movement. The arms are responding to that breath, and they're relaxing and dropping back down. Nice. Let's return to that home base of weight shifting left and right, feet flat on the floor, and noticing that surface that you're standing on. Use this home base to really tune in to all the parts of your body. What can you relax a little bit more? Use this pattern of shifting your weight side to side to really help your body. Arms are just hanging. Back is relaxed. I love to use the visual of an invisible string attached to the top of my head and just lightly floating me up. And that invisible string is really doing the work for me, and my spine is just gently hanging below that. No effort at all in the back muscles. Everything's soft. Return to that nice breathing pattern, back and forth. Good. All right, we've got one more movement here to play with. And we're gonna go into a little bit of rotation movement with this left and right pattern. So you can think of this as, when we started the left and right pattern, you may have noticed your body just kind of leaning one direction and then turning the other direction. It's that natural flow that we're gonna continue and go towards a little bit more. So as you shift your weight towards one side, the body just shifts with it. You can think of the middle of the body as leading this movement and sending you in that direction. And the rest of the body, just notice where it falls as you go. You can keep this just this small. There's no need to go bigger. Just let your back relax into this little bit of rotation. Arms are just loose. They may have a little swing to them here. And then if you want to get into a little bit more momentum and swing, you can let that belly again be the leader and initiate a bigger movement and a little bit faster movement side to side, where the shoulders are relaxed and the arms are just swinging. It's a nice distraction for the shoulder joint itself, creating some space and some openness there. Keep the back loose and just notice that movement that's happening. No forcing, just a flow side to side. The more you do it, the more you just settle into that pattern. It becomes really relaxing. Couple more times here. And then gently letting the center of the body start to come back towards the front. Right back to that gentle weight shift that we started with. Easy side to side. Relax the feet into the floor. Good. And returning once more to that breath up and down, that pattern of a little bit of a lift and a little bit of a sinking and a settling. And the breath starts the movement, the body responds. And big exhale, release. And breathe in, float up. And breathe out, float down. One more time, breathe in. And breathe out. Nice. And just notice how your body feels. So the movements that we went through, you may not even label them as yoga movements per se, right? They were really simple, just directional flows of our body. But that's really kind of, if you just take that and play with it, that's basically what Strala Yoga becomes. So it's flowing through with those natural patterns that are back and forth and in and out and up and down. It's very graceful. It's very easy. There's no forcing. There's no rigidity. And you take those things into more and more movements, and you take them from one yoga pose to the next yoga pose, and then you have something that feels really good and is very helpful to your body. And you leave the yoga class thinking, oh my gosh, I didn't know my body could feel that good while I was moving. What if I could actually feel good the rest of the day as well? So there's lots of application and lots of talk and many principles about taking movement and using movement as a real teacher and a real guide to help you in all of life. And the way you move is kind of so closely linked to the way that we're thinking and the way that we live our lives all together. You know, we don't separate our bodies from our minds. They are connected in so many ways. So when you take a physical practice and you think about, all right, I'm going to relax into this, and this has an effect on you, and you start to feel better, well, your mind connects with that too, and your mind participates with that flow and that simplicity and that feel good. And then your mind craves more of that in everyday life as well. All right? It's all good. All good. So thanks for joining. I hope that was helpful. And I'll see you back here soon. Have fun and play with it.